So now I want to talk to you about the subject of scales. And although there are a ton of scales you can learn, it can be overwhelming. Really, all of popular music is going to boil down to the diatonic scale known as do, re, mi. Okay? 7 notes, diatonic. And you learn this simple scale, you've learned all your modes, you just might not know how to think about them yet, and you've learned your natural minor. That G major scale is also an E minor scale if I started on the E. I just ended on the E for better emphasis. So, just want to learn those scales. I'm learning them in 3 notes per string system. I think it's called the Berkeley system. You might want to look that up, Google Point. And what you want to do, and this is the challenge, and this is where it takes a lot of time, you want to learn these in every area of the fretboard. If it's a 7-note scale, there's 7 shapes, 7 zones of the fretboard to learn. If there's, I'll demonstrate them while I'm talking if I can. If it's a 5-note scale, which I'm going to cover next, the pentatonic, it's going to be, I can't talk and play at the same time, can I? It's a 5-note, or 5 shapes and 5 zones on the fretboard. So that's the other scale you want to learn, the pentatonic, the most common one people play. I'll be out of key, but it's A minor. That's the most common one that people learn. But G major pentatonic, stay in the key of G major, because I've been doing that earlier so far in this video. There it is, okay? The key is to learn, so 5 positions there, 7 positions for diatonic. That means you want to learn these scales all over the fretboard in all the fretboard zones. And now I want to take time to, because that might sound overwhelming, that might sound boring. Let me talk to you about how to practice them and make them more fun. You want to be creative with them. I once saw a bumper sticker that said that war is a failure of the imagination. Well, boredom is a failure of creativity in music, especially. So if you're bored, you're not being creative, and the key to being creative is to be like a little child. Little children ask questions. Always ask questions. The questions you want to ask is what if? Questions of potential. What if I take the G major scale you heard me play, and I were to play creative with rhythm, you know? I don't have to play straight rhythm. This is very simple, by the way. Nothing complicated. I'm doing every single note in order, okay? Start with baby steps, right? Now you can hear my dogs in the background. The other thing you could do is skip notes. Skip that second note, back to it. Combine that with rhythm. I don't have to always go up or down. I can change direction. Practice with the metronome. And if the metronome is a little dry for your practicing, and maybe you already struggle with practice, make it more fun and use a drum machine, a drum loop. As you advance, start skipping notes. Now maybe a little faster than you're ready to go as a beginner, but number the notes. What if I number the notes? What if I number them and only play odd numbers? I descended on even numbers somehow. I always get that mixed up. But what if I number the notes and play sequences that go ascending 3s? 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Groups of 4s. Groups of 5s, 6s, and 7s, making up numeric patterns. 1, 3, 2, 4, etc. Do that for every shape and every zone. We're talking years of practice. Okay, it's almost inexhaustible. But that's how you make it fun. At least that should be fun. If that's not fun for you, you're probably in the wrong area. Just do it as a hobby at the most. But that's how you grow. So be creative with the scales. Be creative with the pentatonic scale as well, the diatonic scale. But that's scales. One thing that I do with that creative mindset, is I play more random sets of notes. Now I know the scales across the whole fretboard, so you know it's not totally random. It's random-like, because I will play stuff that also takes into account what my ear's hearing, how it sounds to me, how it feels under my fingers. Certain patterns are going to work better for me. So a totally random approach might be like, and this is actually hard for me to do, to be totally random. What was a fudge note? But what if, you know, that doesn't sound so musical anyhow, but what if I, you know, take more of a musical approach, let my ear guide myself and my fingers. See, that felt good on my fingers, so I repeated it. You know, there's a different pattern. It's a musical phrase. That's the type of thing you want to do, woodshedding. That's learning to play with the guitar instead of simply learning to play the guitar. You don't have to get complicated in this modes and things. That's music theory stuff later. But that's pretty much how you learn to practice your scales. Learn them all over the fretboard. Don't be deceived by this jet tour. I'm talking stuff that might take you years of practice to really do. Don't let that overwhelm you. Just everybody has to start somewhere. Take it in bite-sized nuggets. If you absolutely can't do that on your own, find a teacher that will help you to do that, to keep you on track, and they'll put the blinders on you in a positive way, like a horse jockey does it with their horses, to keep them focused. And you focus on one thing at a time, and one thing becomes the second thing, a third thing, and then a bunch of things, and before you know it, you have the whole fretboard down for a scale, all right? Another thing I should say about scales, learning the number of the notes. You know, I know that this is that G major scale, one note, that's scaled degree 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And if I have to play the 6th for the G, that G pad, that particular shape, I can go to it quickly, or the 3rd, or the 5th. I want to sharp the 5. I know how to do that quickly. There it is. So that's very helpful as well, especially if you get more into the music theory. But that's really everything when it comes to scales. It doesn't have to get more complicated than that.